Well, hello friends. Today I don't have much time, but we are going to fix a bug. So I have this bug in the bug tracker that I wrote down like a week ago, and it's that the maximize button doesn't change icon if you're using the double-click title bar mechanism to maximize. So you see this guy here, the maximize button, when you maximize, it's supposed to become this other button, or this other looking button at least. But if you double-click with the double-click on the title bar and you maximize, but it doesn't actually change the icon. So that's obviously an unacceptable quality defect right here. So I thought we would just look into that. So let's go in window frame, I guess, which is where the buttons live. So every window frame has a set of buttons, and the only button really that's optional is the maximize button, because he will only show up for resizable windows. All windows are closable and minimizable. And the way that this button works is, actually I'll show you. So the window frame has a vector of WS buttons, so Windows Server buttons basically, and I think that vector is like rendered from right to left. So the close button is added first, yeah, and then the maximize and the minimize ends up on the left, right? So maximize is in the middle. And then when we add something to that vector, then we have to construct the whole button object, which takes a frame, a bitmap, and a callback, or an on-click handler, if you will. So the on-click handler here, what it does is that it changes maximize to be whatever maximized isn't, and then it changes the bitmap. And I think this is exactly what the problem is, now that I see it, because we are changing the bitmap here in this button click callback, whereas we should probably be changing it in some like toggle maximized state thingy. So let's see how that double click mechanism works. Double click, process event for double click. Not now, sweetheart. Let's see. Okay, so this is just detecting the double click. And then where does this end up? Double click in the window manager. I feel like I should have some intuition where this ends up, but I didn't write the maximize code for double click, so I guess that's why it's not stuck in the back of my head. So yeah, so here we are. So if we are double clicking on a window that is maximized, and okay, right. So are these in more places? Process ongoing window drag. This factoring here is kind of retarded, actually. I should probably look into that eventually, but right now let's just do this slightly differently, so that I guess we're in process window drag, because once you click down on a window frame, or if you hold the logo button or the Windows key or whatever you call it, logo key, and you start to drag a window, you can just hold it down and it'll let you drag, sort of like alt drag works in many Linuxes. But what we're going to do here then is just pass this to the window frame. So we'll do drag window frame set maximized. Or, oh, that's kind of weird. Let's just do this. Let's keep it this way actually, but we will notify the frame, and I'm just going to tidy this up a tiny bit here because it doesn't need to be so verbose. Okay, and then in the window we have set maximized. So what does that do? Blah blah blah. Just cache the old rect. So the other thing that we're going to do then is just notify the frame. Set maximized. Maximized state changed. Did set maximized. Let's do it that way. Window frame. Okay. Did set maximized. Actually, let's use a badge here. I wrote a blog post about badges yesterday. I figured I should probably write down what these things are in case it's not super obvious how these work. Yeah, so I guess I can explain it here too. So the purpose of a badge is to have a public function in a class, but only allow a certain other class to access that function. So like if, for instance, these public functions here, they can be called by anyone, right? But if I only want WS Window to be able to call this function, I can require that he show his badge to get in. And it's really quite simple that this is all you have to do, and then we don't need to name that actually. And the way that we then call that function is by instantiating the badge like that. And a badge is just this really simple object. It's a class with a private constructor that can only be called by his friend, T. Which is why only WS Window is able to instantiate it like this, which is how the whole mechanism works. Anyway, so we call set maximized, and we call did set maximized actually. So, and we should have something for that here. Window frame did set maximized, blah 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 maximized. And I guess we don't have to do that, but we want to do something for the button. So we don't need the button here anymore. But and maximize button. Let's do that. And we'll assert that we have a maximize button. And we're gonna have to cache that actually. So how much do we need? That much? Okay. And then m maximize button is button footer. Okay, this is a little ugly, but it'll work. And then we're just gonna store that down here. So no footer by default. Okay. So now we keep that button and a pointer here, and then when we get the did set maximize callback, then we will update the button. Okay, let's see how that works. So many warnings, wow. I should make a video only fixing warnings, but that would be like the most boring video ever. Okay, I guess I should rebuild everything. My cat keeps complaining she wants to go outside, but she has to wait a little bit because she just took some medicine. Can't always do what you want, sweetie. Well, it's the same for me sometimes. I don't know if you can hear her on the microphone, otherwise I guess I sound like I'm just talking to myself here. Come on, build. Yeah. tap, tap, and we have the right icon. Tap, tap, and a right icon again. This works that way too, and that way too. Okay, that was pretty straightforward. So let's just do a patch review. Okay, so here's the callback that we fire in Windows at maximized. Just calling the frame, letting it know. And then when we create the button, we now store the button in a pointer so that we can call it. It's not the most beautiful thing, but it works. And of course, in the button callback, we no longer update the icon. We take care of that in the set maximized call chain instead. Okay. And then here's the callback where we update the button bitmap. And here's the window frame header, declaration of the callback. Here's the pointer we added, and here's just me tidying up the call to set maximized a little bit in the window manager. Okay, I think that's good. So let's commit that. Windows server. What's it called? Always update the maximize button icon. Maximize it. When we should. Okay. Fix it 119. Okay. Let's just explain briefly, I guess. We were only updating it in the WS button callback, not when setting. We're changing the maximized state program to code. Okay, I think we're cool. All right, so let's see that again, even though it was really short. Okay, so I'll drag that around and tap tap to maximize, changes the icon up here too, and here too. Very nice. All right, cool. So I think that'll be it for this video. I have to get going here. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching and for coming back again. And hello to all the new subscribers and visitors and whoever else is here. And I hope to see you next time.